4th of July is one of my favorite holidays of the year, and since we're spending most of the month in Alaska, I decided to see how Anchorage celebrates it. I broke the day up and did some activities with my entire family, then some with Amy, and then finished with my dad. This is one of the wildest 4th of Julys I've ever had, including watching cars jump off of a cliff. Hopefully you enjoy experiencing an Anchorage 4th of July as much as I did, and let's jump into it. Starting our 4th of July in downtown Anchorage at Delaney Park. Delaney Park is a little bit south of downtown and has a lot of open space that they could use for carnival rides, festivities, and food trucks. We get the day started early with 2-year-old twins, so we arrived before everything was even set up, and our first order of business was finding a snack. We found our favorite thing at the fair. What is it? A wobble man! As we explored the park, we made our way down to the Alaskan Veterans Memorial. This beautiful memorial honors all of the Alaskans that have lost their lives in the many wars. At the end of the park, the Rotary Club also had a beautiful display of American flags that could be purchased to honor individual family members. Following that, we grabbed some lunch to eat before the parade started. Pops and I just got back from a Texas road trip and we found Texas barbecue in Anchorage.
A place called Expedition. It was a truck at this fair, and the guy there had cooked with all kinds of people from Texas that we had talked to, like the guy at Goldie's and the guy at Snow's. It was just crazy.
So it's pretty good?
Pork belly. It's pretty doggone good, yeah.
Texas barbecue in Alaska, who would have thought?
The kids decided to go with the fish and chips, and then we made our way over to grab a spot for the parade. One of the locals told me that this parade had been running for over 70 years. And even though Anchorage is a big city, it felt more like a small city parade. It was a blast just hanging out and watching the fire trucks, police cars, emergency vehicles, and even one from the airport go by us. Plus, my kids especially loved the reindeer that walked by and the person dressed up like a bald eagle and a moose. The highlight for me though is probably the old cars that came by in the middle of the parade. It's not that big, but it's a fun little event for the whole family with the parade and the food and the rides. Not bad. After dropping the kids and the grandparents off, Amy and I headed out to Glacier View, which is about an hour and 45 minutes outside of Anchorage. If you've never done this drive before, then give yourself some time to pull off at the different overlooks as it's stunning the entire way. We left the kids behind with the grandparents for a nap, but next up, us and apparently all of Anchorage is in Glacier View for the car launch. Yep, you heard that right. There's an actual car launch that happens on the 4th of July in Alaska. If you want to come and really enjoy it, you should probably get here early. We got here at around 1:30 with the car supposed to launch at 2, and it took us a while to find a place to park, and it was about 2 miles of walking just to get to where you watch them from.
Just waiting for the cars to launch.
With the leader at the apex and the rest.
It's hard to describe how amazing this event is. There was a flyover from some bush pilots, the American flag was hung up on a line at the top of the hill, people came in via helicopter and even via boat to watch the event, and after singing the national anthem, someone zip-lined in with an American flag behind them. And after all of that, they started launching cars off the cliff. I mean, if that doesn't say 4th of July and American freedom, I don't know what does. There was over 20 cars in this year's launch, and the best part is they announce each car with a big horn and everybody turns to watch the car going off the cliff. Supposedly it's been going since 2005 and they even have an announcer.
Forward, come on, girls! Hey!
From what I can tell, there was 2 different ways they launched the car. The first was a free ride where they just hit the gas and then let it go straight, and the other one was rails where they attached it to some form of rails and then shot it off. There were different jumps where they had multiple cars going at once, and then they shot off a motorhome in the middle and even a boat at the end.
Before needing touches just
And it
started.
just beats that they're like able to just launch that off. It's awesome.
Here's a few more clips from that crazy event, and I could not get enough. And just in case you're wondering, they clean up all the cars the next day and recycle whatever they can. After about 2 hours of hanging out though, it was time to make the walk back to the car.
That was a crazy crowd and almost a 1.5 mile walk just to get down there. But one of the 4th of Julys I will probably never forget in my entire life, seeing cars jump off the cliffs. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think I could ever forget it, and I don't know what else could top this 4th of July.
I do have one more thing that I'm gonna do, but we gotta drive back to Anchorage for that.
It was a 2-hour drive back and a lot of traffic from all the people leaving, but luckily the views were beautiful and we had a few hours to kill before our final thing.
For our last event of our 4th of July in Anchorage, we are going to a minor league baseball game that ends at midnight. It is 10 p.m. right now, but it's basically all day bright, so it's a good time to go to a baseball game. And there's fireworks at midnight.
I'm all for that.
No one else wanted to watch a baseball game from 10 o'clock to midnight with me, so I enlisted Pops for this one.
You ever watched a game before at 10 p.m. at night in the light?
Not with the daylight.
With one way that
Cool
brings
experience.
up.
The game took place between the Anchorage Bucks and the Glacier Pilots, two collegiate summer baseball teams in Anchorage. It was a small stadium, but it was basically a full crowd with everyone excited to celebrate 4th of July like this and to see the fireworks at the end.
For the Bucks, if they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes you out at the old ball game.
And with that out, we have a final score of the Anchorage Glacier Pilots 0, your Anchorage Bucks 2.
It's 11:17, and this is what it looks like right now for fireworks.
I can honestly say I never thought I was going to watch fireworks at midnight in Alaska without it even being dark. And that being said, it's an experience I will never forget.
Here comes Ash down on Pops right there.
This is fun. That was a really fun show. My gosh, that was great.
And with that, 4th of July is over. I think this is one of the top 3 best 4th of Julys I've ever had. It was so fun. And that fireworks show to end it. I mean, how is that, Pops?
It was great. It's a great small town feel with the college baseball players. And it was actually kind of funny that it was cold a little bit, you know, because you're in Alaska. That was a fabulous experience.
Plus, seeing fireworks show basically feels like the middle of the day. That's another experience you'll not forget. If you're in Anchorage for 4th of July, you're going to have a good time. We'll see you on the next one.